Righty then. There we go. Give it a minute for people to jump in here. There's Prep Rebel. Okay. We'll give it a minute for some people to get in here, guys. I'll tell you what the problem is. Uh, I've had, I think it's because of the weather, and I have had some connection issues where I'll just be not even doing a live stream. I'll just be farting around on the computer, and all of a sudden, boom, I'm offline. And I can look at, I got my box over here. So all of a sudden, when it said disconnected, I went, oh no, tell me it didn't do it during a live stream. No, it wasn't shadow banning. No, no, it wasn't. Yeah, they're trying to do it for the egg count. Right, exactly. Um, but so that was what was going on. It's just you use the word free, right? Heaven forbid that you actually use something for free. But yeah, it had nothing to do with YouTube shutting me down or nothing like that. It had nothing to do with anything. It's just a connection issue that has been happening here and there. So that was what was happening. So I apologize. All of a sudden, I'm looking. I'm like, oh no, tell me. And I went over and looked, and it's usually okay. So I got this box, and the box is usually the light on top is white, which indicates that everything is copacetic. Well, when that light goes red, it means we have an issue, and it doesn't reconnect. I mean, it'll say trying to reconnect. It doesn't reconnect. I have to unplug it, plug it back in, wait till it cycles back through, and yeah, exactly what it is. So anyway, so that was what was going on with that. So no, it's not about the router. The router's new. It's just we just there's sometimes there's issues, and what are you going to do dealing with? So let's go back to where we were. What we were talking about. We're talking about pallets, right? And I was saying that if you look at all the videos out there of people that have taken pallets and built, if you're buffering at all, Viking Prepper, sign out and then sign back in, and that should hopefully clear that up. Okay, but anyway, so all these channels out there, a lot of them have, you know, uh, they've taken pallets and turned them into houses and like little places that they could use to it's like as a bug out location, something in the woods and stuff like that. So they can be used for a lot of different things. I made my little woodshed out here from pallets. Actually, I got one of the group members is bringing some pallets this get together, and we're going to. I said, yeah, grab a couple more of those pallets. I said we'll make another little woodshed right over by uh, the the pavilion. So then that way we have like the one out here, and then we'll have another one over there. It's just another place to you know to store stuff. So not a bad thing. Yeah, we hoard pallets. You can make crazy things. We made raised beds for gardening. Yeah, I mean, there's like so many, and a lot of the pallets, they're made out of oak. So it's a heavy, heavy wood, which is great, and it works really, really well. So there is, and a lot of the companies don't keep them, they just get rid of them. So, if they're out there and you can get them, I mean, it's not a bad thing. You can take pallets, and I'm not talking the blue ones. You don't want to do this with the blue ones, but a regular pallet, you can cut them up and use them for firewood. I mean, when I was a kid, I'll tell you what happened when I was a kid. My stepfather worked for a company called Mixco. They did welding and stuff like that. So they got a lot of stuff that would come in on pallets. Well, he would get these pallets and he can get them for free. So he had like this stack, I mean, ridiculous stack of pallets that in the backyard, back behind his shop. And he said to me, uh, you know, he said, Ed, I'll tell you what, I'll give you $100 if you break those pallets apart. You don't have to cut them all the way down, but just break them apart with a sledgehammer. He goes, then I can take them and I can burn them in the wood stove in in the shop. And as a kid, $100 is $100. That's a lot of money. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Well, I'll tell you what, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work. But so there's 101 uses that you can use them for building whatever. Like I said, even a home. There's just it's I've seen so many cool things used for pallets, and we have one of the biggest problems that we have in this country. All right, in my opinion, I'm giving you my opinion, is waste. We waste so many things, and we throw so many things out that are still usable, that could still be used. Um, it's what we do. It's just what we do. Well, I'll just go buy a new one. It's cheaper. I don't want to mess with it. Unless you are a tinkerer or somebody that, yeah, throwaway society. Exactly, Brick. Exactly. But yeah, a lot of food waste, a tremendous amount of food waste. If you go to like Walmart and those type of places, the amount of food that they throw away, that they should give to shelters. But there's all these rules. See, that's the problem. There's all these rules, with the shelters and stuff like that. It's that they can't take this or they can't take that. It's just it's insanity. I look at it like this: if you're hungry, you don't care if the best by date is past due. You don't. But they can't give you that because of the rules, when it comes to that, because of the fact that it's past the best by date. But if you're hungry, guess what? Do you think you care? That's just my. I worked at a convenience store years ago. If we took the over throwaway food, we would get fired. Yeah, exactly. Now, does that make any kind of sense? And I think the reason that they do that, there's a line between prepping and hoarding. Oh, where is the line? Well, I mean, if you're going to Mary, if you're going to use things, or they're, I've been called a hoarder. Okay, I have been absolutely called a hoarder. But to me, and I could care less. You call me whatever you want. Don't make no difference whatsoever. But to me, if I have things that I can use, or things that are going to be viable, that are going to retain their value, uh, I'll give you an example. If I have a case, like a case of razor blades, right? We'll use razor blades. I got a case of razor blades that holds 10 packs, 10 3-packs in the case, right? Well, if I have 10 packs, right, of these razor blades, I can use them, right? That's something that I can use. Yeah, it'll take forever and a day, but that price is never going to go down. It's only going to go up over time. So to me, it's an investment. It's an investment. That's the way I look at it. So no, we're not going to do egg count quite yet, JJ, because we missed some time. I'll run over on purpose. So it's 8:44. So, well, we could. I guess we could still do egg count at the normal time. But I'm going to run over my normal time just because of. So we're going to put the egg count off for 10 minutes. So we'll do it at 5 minutes to 9. We'll do the egg count at 5 minutes to 9, because we were offline for a little bit, and I don't want we'll do it that way. So we'll do it then. But anyway, um, so we have to there's a ridiculous amount of waste. um, Stocking up to me is smart, because if I'm buying it at $2 a case, and I'm making a number up, obviously a case of razors is going to cost a lot more than that, but in 5 years now it's up to $10 a case, and I still got razors left over, and I'm maybe on box 5 because I don't need to use a whole lot, right? That's a win in my opinion. But I'm also stocked up that when things go sideways or something bad happens, I don't have to worry about it. It's just like the whole toilet paper nonsense of when everything happened. I'm going to tell you what, and this is what always killed me. I'm explaining something to you about this. So I was stocked up. I didn't care about toilet paper. I didn't need toilet paper because we had so much. So my ex called me and she said, "Hey, do you have extra toilet paper?" And I said, "Well, of course, of course, And she says, "Well, we're out and we can't get any." She said, "Could you bring us some down, when you bring Eddie down?" And I said, "Yeah, I can do that." So I brought him like 6 rolls of toilet paper, right? And so here's what two things with that. So I had explained that at the time online, and I'll tell you the reaction that I got from that. And her reaction was, and I always love this. I mean, this was just like, it was so condescending. She's like, you know, I said, well, see, this is why I tell you, you got to stock up. And she's like, well, thank you for your preparedness. That's all she said. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. But anyway, so then I had said online that I had given them like 6 rolls. I think it was like 6 rolls of toilet paper. And somebody was like, well, 6 rolls of toilet paper is not going to last very long. Well, how is it my fault that you didn't get ready, right? I stocked up on toilet paper in January 2020, and when it ran out, I gave some to my friends. Exactly, Azim. Exactly. Thank you very much for the donation, and thank you for the statement. And that was my thing too. If I could help somebody else out, if I got 200 rolls of toilet paper, folks, all right. If I have 200 rolls of toilet paper, and you have zero, right? And I can help you out, I'm going to give you a couple rolls of toilet paper. Hopefully that gets you through, until you can get a hold of, you know. Yeah, that's gratitude. Exactly, Don. Exactly. But it's just, it is amazing to me, that people, their mindset, they're never going to prepare. They're not. They're just not going to do it. So beating your head against the wall, you can talk to them, you can explain, and over and over and over and over again, I explain to people, this is not about just being prepared for SHTF, the end of the world as we know it, right? It's not just about that. This is about being prepared for whatever may happen. Because I can guarantee you this, in this chat, just what we got in this chat, we got 217 people in the chat. Somebody has been affected by a death in the family. Somebody has been affected by sickness or an injury that took them out of work, where they couldn't work, they couldn't have the normal income coming in. Somebody in this chat has been affected by probably some sort of homelessness, divorce. I guarantee a whole bunch of people have been affected by divorce, in the chat. Okay, so those are events that takes you out of your comfort bubble, right? I had TP when SHTF hit the fan in my spring of 2020. Exactly. Yep. Yeah, same here, Asif. I had it as well. I had a ton of it. So thank you very much again for the donation. I do appreciate that. But again, events happen in life that are going to affect you. I guarantee you that people somewhere in this chat, somebody has lost a job somewhere along the way, either being fired or laid off because of downsizing or the company closing or anything like that. That's an SHTF moment, guys. That's one of the reasons why we prep. I can guarantee you this, in this chat, we have people that have been affected by weather events, flooding, fires, ice storms, blizzards. Guarantee a lot of you in this chat have been affected, power outages because of electrical storms, down trees, whatever the case may be. People are affected by these things. And if we are prepared for that, the transition to, okay, now that sucks and it's no fun, and the main power's out and stuff like that. But lucky for us, because we are prepared, we have a backup generator, we have gasoline to run that generator. We can still keep the freezer running so we don't lose everything in the freezer, or whatever the case may be. This is why we prep. This is why we prep. Okay. So, and like I said, again, these things, think about right now. Okay. And I wanted to bring this up too when I was talking earlier. Uh, when Yellow just shut down, right? Just shut down, and that was coming. You could see that was coming. They've had a lot of issues, financial, the whole 9 yards, for a while. But 30,000 people just lost their jobs. Okay, 30,000 people just lost their jobs from that one company alone. There, a lot of the meatpacking companies are shutting down. Why would that be? Do we have less people in the country, or do we not have as many people eating? Right? You got to think about these things. A lot of these things are happening, And people got the blinders on like this, and they're just looking straight ahead and focusing on the stuff that they got to worry about, and not thinking ahead, not planning ahead. If we have any event may be, Tyson is shutting down 4 plants. Okay, thank you. Yeah, they're greedy companies. Absolutely, Brad. I don't pay the shareholder. They're not going to take experience. I've worked for some great people. I'm going to say this right now. I've worked for some absolutely fantastic people through the years. But when I have worked for a company or a business, a nursing home or a hospital, they don't care. Management doesn't care. Buffering, uh, I'm good on this one. So if you're having issues with buffering, sign out and then sign back in. Sign out and sign back in. Okay. Yeah. If you're having any issues, guys, sign out and sign back in. Yeah. There was buffering. Okay. Yeah. I'm not offline, so I'm still good that way. But yeah, it's okay. All right. Yeah. Yep. Try refreshing. That's all. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the internet. Else, who knows? Who knows what's happening, right? Just buffering, but can see and hear you. Well, that's good. Very pixelated. That's weird. My picture is lagging. I'm on my end here. It's all fine. I'm not having any issues on my end. I just did, but you're buffering. That's weird. Yeah, who knows what's going on? Who knows? That's so bizarre. Well, why don't we go ahead and do? Let's go ahead and do the. Yeah, I got major storms coming through. They're coming up, so I can hear you, but you're freezing. I don't feel cold, Brad. I know what you meant. I'm just teasing. Why don't we go ahead and do this? Let's go ahead and do egg count. So, how many eggs today? And yes or no for Miss Thickneck. Let's do that. All right. So, let you guys get your guesses in, and we will go from there. So, I'll give you guys a moment to do that, and I will give you the answer momentarily. So, we're at 245 in the chat, guys. We got 104 thumbs up this time around. Let's give a thumbs up if you have not done so yet. And I appreciate that ahead of time. It really does make a big, big difference, especially with the algorithms. So the more interaction, the better it is for the channel. So thank you for that as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notification as well. And thank you. So, okay, give you guys just another moment. Hold on. What are we doing? All right, guys. If you had the same exact guess as Viking Prepper with 3 eggs today and no for Miss Thickneck, then you are 100% correct. Yesterday, when it wasn't a live stream, I guess Becky said there was 5 yesterday, and Miss Thickneck laid yesterday. So that was where we're at today. And I'm like, what's going on? What's with only the 3? It's to that time of year when they start to do that. So congratulations to Viking Prepper for getting the correct answer. Congratulations, you've won absolutely nothing. I win nothing. See, exactly. It's wonderful. But you have won bragging rights. So there you go. Too funny. Is that your? I think that's Viking Prepper's first win. I don't think Viking Prepper has won before. Anlaki said we had 36 eggs today. Well, part of the problem is, and I told Becky that she needed to bring new hens in this year, and she hadn't done it. She hadn't done it, so that's part of the problem. Kanye Pepper in the feed. I'll tell her that. I'll tell her that. One time before? Okay. So Viking Prepper has won once before. Okay. Well, now you're a two-time champion. See how it goes? I'll tell you. You know who in the private chat, uh, Janet is one I think more than anybody else. And here's the funny thing. So we had a new member in the private chat for Monday, right? So they joined during Sunday's live stream, and she was in the private chat for Monday. And we do the egg count on Mondays as well. And she won. So the brand new person came in, and she won the first time out. So I thought that was pretty funny. Two times I've won nothing. There you go. Nothing wrong with that. So, but yeah, that was pretty funny. But a handsome rooster to turn them on. Yeah, I don't know what's well. They don't need necessarily need a rooster to lay. They need a rooster to fertilize the eggs to make more. But we don't have the chickens that we have in New York. None of them chickens have ever been broody. They were not a broody. They were not broody hens. So they never laid. If they laid and that you had made their own, that'd have been great. But they just weren't. When I get chickens down here, I want broody hens. I want hens that are going to lay, and do their thing that way. But anyway, so going back, to the situation that's happening. Like you said, we talked about the Sudan situation in the first part of the first stream. So now we're into the second part. The Sudan situation, and that's basically a carbon copy of what happened, except that we didn't leave a lot of military hardware behind this time, in Afghanistan. And that was a fiasco. And I'm going to tell you what, if you think that we gave a rat's patootie about any of those people in Afghanistan, look what we did to them, right? Look at what we did to all those interpreters that we left behind. What do you think the Taliban did to those people that worked for the U.S. government? I want you to think about that for a second. These folks trusted us, the United States of America. They trusted us that we would take care of them, that we would do the right thing by them. And we did help some, okay? I'm not saying we didn't help any, but a lot of people got left behind. And it didn't end well for them. I can guarantee you that. Because if you were labeled somebody that collaborated, right, with the enemy, that would be us, it did not end well for them. So it's ridiculous. I mean, why would anybody want to work with us? I mean, if you think about that, why would anybody want to work with us if we don't keep our word? If we don't, help people, you know? Yeah, the Taliban are not nice people. No, they're not. Not at all. They're very restrictive. Look what they did to those monuments. If you remember, before we ever even went over there, going back, there was those carved monuments in the mountains, and they blew them up. Those things were, older than dirt and predated, the Taliban and that by eons, and that was part of history. And they blew them up because that didn't fit along with their thought process of what they were trying to push. So it's insane. It's absolutely insane. Maui is on fire. Malachi's Corner saying, "Oh, because of the volcano over there." So, but anyway, I know I keep repeating myself a lot when I say these different things, but we really do need to be on top of things. We need to be prepping. We need to be preparing. When that other shoe drops, my friends, it is not going to be pretty. It is not going to be pretty. How about that Mega Millions winner in Florida? Yeah, I saw that. See, and here I was upset. I was actually, where's that stupid ticket? Oh, yeah, there's my winning ticket. I did have the Powerball. That's it. That's not the win I was looking for. One person, and it was funny because I was actually, I was talking to somebody today, and I said, "I wonder if JJ won. He's down in Florida." So since I saw him in the live stream tonight, I'm gonna take a shot in the dark and say JJ wasn't the winner. But whoever won it, good for them. Congratulations. Hopefully they are smart about it and don't. It would be really hard. I mean, I think it could be done. I do think it could be done, but it would be really hard to piss away that kind of money. It would be really hard. Yeah, I won $2. I'm hiring a financial advisor to help me plan the investment strategy. Same here. I think that's what that is. I think that's a $2 winner because I just had the Powerball. If you get the Powerball in one number, I think it's $4. So, yeah, I just, you know what? The way I look at it, that's a fantasy type of scenario. And if you win, great. If you don't win, you go, okay. So now we go on with life. $4, JJ, for the power. Okay, but it is what it is. I mean, what are you going to do? But if you don't play, I guarantee you won't win. So there you go. So I just, to me, it's like, it's fun to, we sat around talking about, what we would do if we won that kind of money. What would, and it's always, it's just fun. That's enjoyable to do. So, but I hope whoever won it, like I said, I hope they're smart and I hope they don't piss it away. Like I said, winning that much, it would be very, very difficult to piss it away. But who knows? But crazy. So it's just another way of, it's a revenue stream, and a lot of that money is not always going to where it should. 'Cause I know, like New York, when they started doing the lottery, the mega and the Powerball, oh well, so much is going for education and stuff. Well, then how come all of these schools in New York don't have tip top of everything? Because the amount of money people are putting into the lottery and all that type of stuff, they should have the best of everything. That's just my take on it. So yeah, somebody won it, Mary. Somebody in Florida. One person won it in Florida. Yeah, I've never really saw an accounting of where all that money goes or how much money goes to help schools. I would be very interested to see how that broke down and how that money gets spent and that type of thing. Because and I know, the yeah, it funds public schools. Yeah, well, so then why? Like I said again, why do they not have the best of everything? That would be my take on that. So education is important. I really do believe that. But what's also important is trades. These these schools should be pushing the trades, not just pumping these kids and sending them out to lunatic liberal schools where they're taught to be insane. I saw a picture, and it was their daughter was 18, right? And beautiful young lady. They go, here's our daughter going off to college. And then 3 years later, they showed a picture of her, and you wouldn't even recognize the girl. She had one of those whacked out haircuts and the different color hair, and just it turned into a liberal lunatic. And I'm just like, how does that happen? I mean, it's an indoctrination, obviously, but I don't know. It's just I you got to be involved. You got to be involved. At least she wasn't a man, right? Exactly. Who knows? But I think it's like trades. They should be pushing trade. They should be pushing trade school way harder than college. I mean, I want you to think about this for a second. You go to college, you get your degree in basket weaving, or well, I love it when they get their degree in communications is a wonderful one. Communications, they have it. I mean, just ridiculous degrees that you'll never use in the real world ever, right? So now you've come out of college, you know, 100K plus in debt, and but if you went to trade school and did an apprenticeship for a couple of years while you're getting paid, you're not getting paid top dollar, but you're getting paid a decent living. You go through your apprenticeship period, I think maybe 5 years is an apprenticeship. I don't know for sure. And then you go out and you're a journeyman and you can make a fantastic living forever. There's always going to be a need for plumbers. There's always going to be a need for carpenters. Yeah, gender studies is another one, exactly. There's always going to be a need for electricians. You know, those are skills that are going to always be needed because somebody's always going to be building something. Somebody's always got plumbing issues and they need to get that fixed, or they need an electrician. I mean, it's guaranteed lifetime work. The guy that used to come up to my place that helped put in, my water system and stuff like that in New York. I mean, that dude was busy nonstop. He didn't even advertise. He didn't even advertise. The bulldozer guy in New York, okay, he put, he does, he put my water tank in for me, right? He does all kinds of excavating, all that type of stuff. He never advertised, and he's busy constantly. So if you're a heavy equipment operator, there's another one. It's a fantastic job. Again, those things are there. Those possibilities are there. And oh my God, I might get my hands dirty. Crazy, crazy. You know, um, I don't know. It's just you auto paint and body. Yeah, that's another one. There's always always accidents. That's for sure. Yep. And if you know what you're doing, and if you got a good business, you're going to be in great shape. But the other problem is today, nobody wants to work. And I shouldn't say nobody because there are people out there that do have a good work ethic. They're hardworking people. So you can't lump an entire generation into that category. But unfortunately, I can say that a lot of the younger people today don't have a work ethic because they never were forced to have any kind of work ethic. They never had to have any kind of responsibility. I'll tell you, and this is just me as a father. Um, Heather had way too much responsibility because of her brother. She had to be very responsible very early on, and she was very squared away. Always has been. She's got a great work ethic. They love her at her job. She does a great job, and so she's doing very well that way. But it's just you know, but she's a squared away kid. But she had to be because of her brother, because of Eddie's autism. She had to be in charge. Like when I left, I would always say, "Heather's in charge. Do what your sister tells you." And she never bullied him. She was never mean to him. None of that type of stuff. And she watched out for him and stuff like that. And and that's what she needed to do. So she was ultra responsible. She was. I always had people tell me when I was very young. They said you have an old soul. You're very mature for your age, and you have an old soul. Heather is the same way. I'll tell you what. I always tell people, Heather is me, but in a female form, and that's a fact. And the only difference between Heather and I is Heather is very politically correct, and I never will be. That I guarantee you. I will never be politically correct. It's not my thing. But she's just a good person too. Heather's got such a good heart. And I'm not just saying that because she's my daughter. It's just I'm saying it because it's the truth. Because believe me, if she was a piece of crap, I would come on here and I would say she's a piece of crap. But she's not. Ed, your kids are shining lights in this world. You are truly blessed. You know what? Thank you, and I appreciate that. Are you back in New York? No, Susan. Let me break it down this way. I will never live full time in New York ever again. I have no intention of it. Don't want to. No desire. I will go up and I will visit. Probably a couple times a year. That's it. That's it. Other than that, I'm here. I'm going to be in West Virginia for the rest of my life. That's my goal. I think I already told you guys. Heather is coming down to visit. So that I'm looking forward to that. So you guys will get to see, you'll get to see her on video, obviously coming up when she's down here. But I can't wait to see her. Um, I liked Greece, New York. I liked Greece as well, but Greece has gotten bad, Brick. Over the last 10 years, Greece, New York has gone down a toilet. So that's that's the whole thing. So Anyway, all right. So let's go ahead. We're going to do some shout outs now. So first, we're going to start out with Heavenly Hills Homestead. So definitely check them out. His pumpkin is getting huge. He's got a couple pumpkins growing really really well, but the one pumpkin I think it's up to like 550 pounds now. It's crazy big. Um, you have Icky Can up in Canada, real good guy. Definitely would ask you to support him as well. There is Angry Prepper down in New York City. Excuse me. You have Alaska Prepper, that is Rudy up in Alaska. There is also Alaska Granny. You have Sean James with the Sean James channel and myself Reliance, two different channels. Same guy. Awesome to watch him build up in Canada. There is Demcad. You have Corporal's Corner. There's Bjorn Hansen. You have 80K Man up in the Adirondacks in New York. There is Bizariza Jizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles. Good story as well. There is Marfugal News, Adam and Dax out on the West Coast, so definitely check them out as well. There is Magic Prepper out in North Dakota. You have Cody, which is Wrangle Star, real good guy, great channel, a lot of good information on that channel. There is Red Poppy Ranch. You have Survival Lily coming at you over from Europe. There's Kyle's Cabin. That's Kyle and Sierra doing their thing up in Minnesota. You have Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband wife team, two different channels, but they're really good information. They split their time between Michigan and Alaska. You have Green Greg's. There is Southern Prepper 1 with his Boots on the Ground series. You have Gray Man Prepping. You have St. Bernard Acres with Joe. There is Doug and Stacy. Doug and Stacy's a real good channel. A lot of great information on that channel as well. There is the Nomadic Movement, which is in Panama. Nice young couple down there. You have the Green Dream Project out in Arizona, showing you how to live in the desert. Really, really cool that way. There is Camping with Steve Wallace, another good channel. A lot of good information on his channel. There is Bush Doctor Survival. You have Monkey Works. There is the Needy Homesteader. She has been around for a long time. Real good channel there as well. You have Boss of the Swamp. You have Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Diamond's a real good guy. Really interesting channel. A lot of good information there. You have Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. She says it like it is, and I respect that. There is City Prepper. You have Lumina Acres, Suspicious Observer, Bear Independent, The Uneducated Economist. You have Bushcraft Bear coming at you from the Canary Islands of La Palma. There is Mary Greeley News. Mary Greeley's giving you all the latest updates of what's going on with Yellowstone and everything like that. There is Adapt 2030. You have Malachi's Corner. There is Ice H Farmer. If you're going to get your weather, there's only one guy to get your weather from, and that is Ryan Hall. Ryan Hall, y'all, great guy, very passionate about the weather, and he gives back to the community in a huge way. There is Russell Brand. I like Russell Brand. He says, gives you the information, lets you decide what you want to do with it. I like that. Deep South Homestead, another good channel, very family-friendly oriented channel. You have The Outsider up in Maine. There is The Fit Farmer. You have Prep Rebel. There is Simple Life Reclaimed. There is Townsend showing you what it's like to live in the 1800s. I think that that's important to pay attention to that. You have The Prepared Mind. There is Pinball Preparedness down in Tennessee. East Tennessee Preparedness. The Economic Ninja. And last but not least, Little House Off Gritty. They are also down in Tennessee. A lot of good channels, a lot of good information. So definitely check that out as well. All right. And we'll go from there. So, but like I said, a lot of different information from different parts of the country, different parts of the world. I think that it's important that we look at different aspects of it. And so, a lot of other people put their channels that they like in the chat, which is absolutely fine as well. I can't give a shout out to every single buddy. So, I try to limit it. Otherwise, we'd be here and it would just be a live stream of me giving shout outs, right? So, anyway, the fight over resources, we are losing that fight as a world power. We're letting other people take that role, and we have been bullies for a very, very long time. If people didn't do what we wanted, we exerted pressure. We changed governments. We were involved in that, and that happens, But it is, we just, I don't like I said, I don't like the direction that we're going in. I honestly believe that we really need to focus at home, taking care of our business at home. If we're going to be policemen of the world, then be at it. Do it 100% of the way. If we're going to take something over, like, okay, so here's my take, strictly my take. The situation with Afghanistan, we were there for 20 years, right? You take over an area and you say, guess what? This is ours. Period. You can't have it back. We've taken it. It's ours. If you don't like it, tough, too bad. You kill one American soldier, we kill 10,000 of you. And I guarantee you, they may do it, they may try that, but when you go and you exert that type of retribution on the populace, they will stop. They won't keep doing it because they don't have the numbers to sustain that. And I'm sorry, that may sound harsh, and that may sound terrible, but you know what? If you're going to be here and do that, and let's be realistic. It's about the resources, right? It's about the resources. Iraq, a great example of that as well. We went in there, we kicked butt, we took it over. Now it's ours. Period. End of story. We run the oil fields. That's how it should have been. That's how it should be. And guess what? Think about how cheap oil would be if we had control of that all over there. And there's nothing anybody could do about it. Realistically, there's nothing anybody could do about it. I mean, think about it. You make it so repugnant to attack Americans or to attack American soldiers that they would stop. They might not like you, they may not like it, but I'll tell you right now, it would stop. You got to be hard, and that's a fact. Okay, so it's tough. And letting and so here's a question that I have. Okay, here's a question that I have, and I'm not trying to hammer on Muslims tonight. That's not my objective. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just making a point. So you have all these Muslims from these countries are at war, and there's all kinds of problems. Why did they have to go to European countries that weren't Muslim? Why couldn't they have gone to other Muslim countries where like-minded are, right? Think about this. If it's not an invasion, a stealth invasion, why would they have not wanted to opt to go to countries that were like-minded, where they could go and practice their religion with no problem? I want you to think about that. Just something to think about. And like I said, I don't care what religion anybody is. I really don't. But you have to. Why should somebody come to my country, okay, and then I have to? And I don't care what country it is. I'm not saying America. I'm not saying Canada. I'm not saying Europe. Wherever. I'm just saying. Let's say I'm in country Y, right? And in country Y, we've done it this way forever and a day, and it's a Christian country, right? Now all of a sudden you have all these people come over and they are coming into our country, and now they want us to change the way that we think to accommodate them. Think about that. Is that the way it should be? Yeah, they intend to convert the world, Okie Forge, and I don't disagree with that. And they're breeding us out, Okie Forge. That's the way they're doing it. So whatever. It just a thought, just thinking. That's all. So let's do this real quick. We are Legion because we are many. We are all over the country. We're all over the world. Where is everybody from tonight? We got Brad is in Missouri. We have the west coast of Florida with Kit, Franklin County, Ohio. We have Dayton, Ohio with Rhonda. Inverness, Florida with Clyde in the house. Waterloo, New York with Sharon. Yeah, even Muslim religions have different views. You're right. Jeff Ellis in North Carolina, Nowhere, Oklahoma with Okie Forge. We got somebody from the UK. Hold on, let me go back up there. Wesley from the UK. Poconos in Pennsylvania. Nowhere, Vancouver Island with Prep Rebel, Dallas, Texas. We have East Central Illinois with Lana. Nebraska's in the house with Sean. BC, Canada with Janet. The beautiful Pennsylvania Wilds with Pennsylvania Granny. Des Moines, Iowa with Kaylin. Texas in the house with Natasha. Omaha, Nebraska with Larry. We have, where were we? Brick in Easton, Pennsylvania. Then we got Robert up in Virginia, Northern Virginia. Antonio in Campbell, Missouri. Ann in the UK with Carlise. Troutman, North Carolina with Troy. Rick in New York. Fargo, North Dakota with Patrick. The UP of Michigan with Dawn. Central New York with Village Homestead. Beautiful New Hampshire with Brenda. Dallas, Texas with Traveler. We got Jupiter, Florida's in the house. Western New York with Karen. Drysville, Iowa with Weber Homestead, Tina. So, again, guys, we truly are all over the world. We're all over the country. We're a huge network of people. We got Mike in St. Paul, Minnesota. We're a huge network. Dale in West Central Ohio. So we're the ones that are awake. We can truly make a difference by trying to wake people up now. It's not always going to work. West Bonneville in Wisconsin. You know, that's all we can try to do. But we're going to make a bigger difference after an SHTF event. Kipsip, Washington. Very nice. Retired First Sergeant. Very cool. That means you were a lifer. I was not a lifer. I'll tell you what, if I could go back and tell my 19-year-old self, stay in and do 20, I would talk to me and say that, because then you got that retirement. And then you can come out and you can still have another 22 years. Very cool, brother. Very cool. Congratulations. And then still come out and have another career for 20 years someplace else. Yeah, you know, hindsight, it's always 2020, right? But yeah, so anyway, I want to thank my moderators. They do a fantastic job keeping the chat clean, guys. Very much appreciated, ladies and gentlemen that moderate for me. I want to thank all you guys for being here as well and coming back after the snafu with the internet that happens. And it always happens. We'll have a good stream going, decent amount of people in the stream, and then it cuts off like that, and then we never get back to where we were before. But what are you going to do? You know what I mean? What are you going to do? So, but anyway, you know, thank you guys for supporting the channel and being here. I do appreciate that as well. Also, we got to remember, guys, we truly are all in this together. We're one race called the human race. As soon as we can figure that one out, we're going to be in much, much better shape. We have to come together as human beings. We really, really, truly do. We have to work together. We have to, you know, put the pettiness nonsense aside, come together, realize that we have to work together. We could get so much done. And then we could go against the people that are really the problem, which is big business. They're a huge problem, and the government, which is a huge problem. So, you know, how about if we could straighten them out? You know, wouldn't that be awesome, right? Also, remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really, really important to tell the people that we care about and that we love every day how we feel. Last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only way that you can not make and get things done is if you listen to the negativity and if you listen to negative people telling you what you cannot accomplish. All right? Don't listen to that. Stay focused. Miserable people want you to be miserable as well. Don't allow them to let that happen. So set realistic goals, set about to making them happen, and they happen. So have a great week, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next live stream, which will be Friday at 8 o'clock. Have a good one. Be safe and keep prepping. All right. I'll talk to you later. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.